Hi, my name is Terry Sproul, and I want to welcome you to my studio. Today's a special day. We're doing a project just for a group on Facebook. This group is called Chic Craftique. I hope that you consider joining it if you're not already a member of it. Also, I would love you to invite you to join my group also, which is called All Things Terry Sproul, also on Facebook. Today we're going to work on a canvas, and we're going to play with a lot of fun products, so hopefully we'll do a really fun project. I do have Debbie here, and she's going to help me do my best to find questions. And to help you out, if you pop up the screen and you can't get into the chat, there's a little up on the top right corner, if you put your mouse up there, it says pop out. Click on that, and then you can shrink it so that you can have the screen and the chat going at the same time. And if you can do your best to put your questions, if you have a question while I'm working, in caps, I will do my best to catch it, okay? So please do that, and we will do our best to answer all of your questions. Okay, I am going to switch cameras, and we're going to get going. Okay, it sometimes has problems switching cameras here, so give me a second. I don't know why. See, now I'm closed up. Hold on. There it goes. Debbie, are you seeing it, Debbie? Because I still got a blank screen.
I still see you.
You see me, not my desk?
Right.
Okay. Still seeing me and not my desk?
Correct.
Ugh. Okay, going back to me, and let's switch it again. Did this to me the other night too. There we go.
You got it. All right.
I don't know why it doesn't. This has to be a couple times for it to work. Okay, wanted to show off a couple things I did this week. This is a really pretty little canvas I made just yesterday. I love the saying, "You see a weed, I see a wish." Isn't that pretty? Okay. I do a Tuesday night live class, and I want to invite you guys all to that, and I do art journal classes. This is actually our page we just did this last Tuesday. I'm actually not doing one next Tuesday because I'm just way too busy, but every Tuesday after that I really do a class every Tuesday. So join me in my art journal classes, and we do a lot of techniques in these classes. Okay. I have a canvas on my desk. It's a 11 by 14 canvas. I actually got lucky enough to find this at Big Lots for $1. Can you believe that? $1. Okay, and that's one of the things I want to talk about. Is if you find you don't need to go to some place like Dick Blick's and get your canvases that are really, really expensive. You can work with a cheaper canvas. But if you do work with a cheaper canvas, you do need to gesso them. And gesso, let's talk about gesso. Gesso is a product that is made for, basically it's kind of a primer. That's the way I look at it. And I like to use a credit card or a room key card, and I put my gesso on. Now I did do that off camera just because it gave us some time to dry. So my canvas is gessoed and prepped and ready for me to play. Now, I love texture, so I'm definitely going to get some texture into my page. So I am going to grab my golden light molding paste. And the reason I use light molding paste most of the time is because, honestly, it dries quicker. And I got a couple really cool stencils. These are from Crafter's Workshop, I believe. And YouTube link, hold on, somebody's asking for the YouTube link, so let me get you that. Hold on, I'm copying it. I am pasting it in the chat, and there you go. So if you're watching it over on YouTube, if you could do me a favor though, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. So I want to get some texture onto my page. Oh, actually, you know, I don't want to do that first. I'm going to do washi tape. I have a bunch of washi tape I want to play with. Look at all these pretty colors. So I'm going to put some washi tape on first. So I'm going to do some strips here. And I am going to make sure I go all the way around, not around my canvas, but, oh, sorry, don't mean to be off camera there. Go over to my edge here. So I just got some miscellaneous washi tapes.
Terry,
Yes?
sorry to interrupt. I cannot see any questions or anything. I don't know what's going on.
You're not over on the split your screen and have your screen.
I do on the group chat, but I see nothing. No
You
questions.
don't see where I just posted mixed media canvas?
No, ma'am.
Then you can't have it split.
Lovely. Okay.
So, remember to take this screen that you're on right now,
Right.
and make it smaller, and you have the Google page up also, where you would see the video up on top.
Can sure do that.
So all I'm doing while she's taking care of that is just putting some washi tape down, and I'm doing kind of a layers. And this is a design thing that I want to talk to you guys about. When you're designing anything, cards, canvases, whatever you're designing, think of your canvas, scrapbook page, whatever you're working with, in thirds. So as you see, I kind of have a third up here, I'm kind of doing a third here, and I got another third down here. So that's where I'm working. And when you think, when you work as a designer, you want to think in thirds. It really does make a more pleasing eye. And I'm trying to get this washi tape to start. It's a new one. I can't find the end. Don't you love that? Oh, that's not it. Might not get used because it doesn't want to be. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So one more. So I've got my canvas kind of split in a third, and I am putting some washi tape down the center. Now, washi tape, I'm trying to get this washi tape to start. Oh, now that you've got two screens up, make sure you mute yourself so that we don't hear the second screen, please.
Sorry.
It's okay. I can teach. There we go. So now I have a really nice, let me put it towards you, already going. Some more gesso. And I want to wash this out a little. So, got some gesso. I'm just going to put a little bit of gesso onto my card, and I'm just going to wash it out and make it not be so bright. Now, the reason that I would use gesso here and not use something like white paint, because as you notice right off the bat, that gesso is translucent in its own way. So it will give me a really soft look, but yet still leave that background in there that I have created already. And this is a great way to start off with a bunch of scrapbook pieces of paper that you might have in your stash. You can take some scrapbook pieces of paper, lay them down onto your canvas, and then go over them with this gesso, and it kind of mutes them out, and it kind of makes them all look like they're supposed to be there. So that's just a little bit of gesso, nothing real fancy. I'm going to quickly give that a dry so I can add another layer. Okay, that's not completely dry, but I'm going to go in and put some texture in this page too. So again, this is where I'm molding paste, my light molding paste. Now I want to show you something, a really good trick. Here's a craft knife, spatula, whatever you want to call them. When I pick up my stuff, that's the top of the spatula, right? I turn my spatula over so I have the bottom going. and then I grab my paste. So I have it on the bottom of the thing, not the top. See that? And that really will help you get a better lay down. And then I think about icing a cake. You just want to get some texture in there. And I put it on pretty lightly. And you don't need to get your whole stencil, meaning I don't have to do this whole thing. I just did a little bit in the center there. And that really, it's hard to see because it's white. But see that? Isn't that cool? So it gave me just a little bit of texture. I'm going to do that up here. Also, when you think about designing, another design tip, whenever you put something on your page, you should put it somewhere else also. You should have it in more than one place. It really does do a better eye. It's more pleasing to the eye to look around the page if there's multiple sections of the same texture, whatever you want to call it. I got one more stencil here. I'm going to put just a little bit here. I'm not going to go too heavy here. Right on the edge. And you should get your stencils into water immediately, or a baby wipe will work also, because you do not want to let this stuff dry on your stencil. So if you like to keep your stencils nice and clean, I usually have a bowl sitting below my desk here on the floor, and I just drop my stencils right into that bowl. Okay, and I know you guys can't see that, but trust me, it's all there. And also, this needs to be cleaned immediately also. And I do clean off all the excess into my jar, and then I would put this into water, or clean it off with a baby wipe, something. So I'm grabbing a baby wipe to clean these off, and let this dry. So I got my spatula all cleaned off, and next time. And then you want to dry this. Okay. That's close enough to being dry for me to continue to work. Get this out of your way so I can have room. Okay. Now I want to play with also, oh, hold on, made a mess. Didn't want my mess. Bad part about working with your desk. A little bit about me too, besides the fact that I do a Tuesday night class. I am a CHA designer, and CHA is a craft and hobby industry. I'm going to put that photo there. So I'm just kind of getting my idea of where that's going to lay, and I'm going to start coming in with some, I have some die cuts, and these are all, I love gears. I'm steampunk girl somewhere, and I do have clocks and gears right there, so I will bring that pattern back in with more gears. So I'm just going to start kind of laying out my idea of what I might want to do at this point. And I had a special request for lace, so I have a ton of lace on my desk. And if Debbie wants to put a link over in the chat, she's got a lot of lace on her website that you could go over and purchase some of these beautiful laces to add to your projects. Now, I buy either cream or white lace because you can always add color to your laces. And that's a great tip, especially if you're in the thrifty world like me, and you need to be able to save as much money as you can because your craft hobby is taking over your life. So I always try to buy laces that are in either cream or white, and then it allows me to get more more out of it in the long run, meaning I can change it to whatever color I need for my project. So I got some beautiful laces here that I want to add into my project somehow. And then also I have, again, I'm gonna be picking all this up and doing some more stuff here in a second. I'm just kind of getting an idea in my head of what I might do. I got this beautiful leaf from Prima. I happen to be lucky enough to live close to Prima, and they actually have a warehouse. See, Debbie agrees with me that she has a majority of white and cream laces in her store because it really is the better way to go. I also have this beautiful, and I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to use, this beautiful, pretty bling, as we're going to call it, from Want to Scrap. So I might use that in there too. So I'm going to open this. But yes, I love my creams, my laces in either creams or whites. So I've got this beautiful, pretty stuff here. Ooh, that might go really good right there, huh? Ooh, liking where this is going already. Don't you love when something comes together? Okay. And I got some more Prima flowers. Like I said, Prima is really close to my, well, not really close. It's about an hour and a half away. And on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, they have their warehouse open. And their warehouse is got some great prices. So if you ever do get out to California, look me up and I'll take you to Prima. I got a ton of these really cool metal pieces that I'm going to use some of them, and they're all from Creating with Details, and that's creatingwithdetails.com, that I get these really pretty metal pieces that I love metal on my pages. I don't know why, but I really do like them. Okay, so, oh, and I love, oh, check this butterfly out. Look at this butterfly, isn't that pretty? Love that. Definitely have to use that somewhere. Look at that. Okay. Okay, I think I like where this is going. So let's pull all this off now that we kind of have an idea of where I'm going. And this, you know, I'm working like this specifically because I want to show you as somebody who feels that they're not a designer, that you really can be a designer. This is how I work. You know, I honestly did not know what this page was going to look like when I started. I got up this morning, I pulled a bunch of stuff and threw it on my desk and went, let's see what happens. So I really want you to see how you can work in that same process. I have on my desk also some memory mists. These are from Stuart Superior. And the reason I like memory mist over, say, dilutions or anything else is because it is a permanent ink, so that if I put something over top of it, the problems with using dilutions, and I'm not picking on dilutions, please don't think that. If I spray dilutions down and say layers over that, I put something wet on, it will move my background. I don't want it to move once I got it down. So these memory mists are what they consider a permanent spray, so you wouldn't have to do that. Okay, see the difference and why I would use this over, say, dilutions. So be careful on what kind of sprays you purchase, and when you purchase your sprays, think of that also. So I'm just getting a little bit of spray on my background there.
Carrie?
Yes?
Where do we find the memory mist at?
They are at stuartsuperior.com.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Or there are other ones that are out there that are a, what do I want to call them, a permanent spray. And you can still move them while they're still a little wet here. So I am grabbing like a baby wipe, and that would allow me to blend them out some. See that? So you can spray them on and still blend them out when they're still wet, but yet they will be permanent once I finish. Once they dry, they are permanent. This is probably one of my favorite colors from them. It's called Pale Ale, and it's kind of I don't want to say, I want to say a dirty brown for lack of a better word. So do think about getting some sprays that are considered permanent. And a little tip that I always tell everybody, always clean off your nib after you're done spraying. And those will help save your sprays from clogging. If you've had problems with your sprays clogging, that's probably why. So I do have those. And I also have, I happen to have Prima's new color blooms on my desk, so I thought I'd try them. They are also a permanent in 2 different colors. Oh, so that one didn't want to spray there first. I had it in hold on, let me blend this out some. This one is Tangerine, is Lime Wedge. So now I got some good colors going in my background. And I want to come back in and start putting my elements back in. Now you can I put on earlier starting to show up, so it's coming out, which I like. Let me dry this real quick. Okay. And I want to thank everybody for showing up. We have quite a few in the room. We have almost 50 people in the room, so thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And again, if you are not already a member of Chic Craftique or All Things Terry Sproul, please email either me or Debbie so that we can add you to those groups, because they are both private groups, and we want to make sure that you get to join. Now, I'm specifically putting white flowers down because I'm going to end up taking all of this anyways, and where's my scissors? Whiting it all out anyways. So I think I might leave that one whole, but I'm going to cut this one. This is another really good idea. When you cut your die cuts and you add them, that gives you another half to play with somewhere else. So remember I was telling you to work in thirds? So see how I have now your eye, see how my eye is going to go from here up there because this is up here. See that? It'll make your eye, or the viewer that you're trying to please, make their eye move around your page and not go to one thing. That's the one bad thing about that I've noticed on a lot of people when they work with this look where they put a big cluster of photos or whatever over there. They have a tendency of not making their eye flow around the page. So make sure that your eye does flow around the page and that you put things where the viewer will look. And the viewer being the person who you're wanting to look at your page. So again, I'm just kind of going to place these real quickly so that I can get ready to glue them down. Now this is going to go probably over my picture. If you do have something that you want to tuck under your picture, I usually do cut it. Let me show you that. I am going to add a few more of these Prima flowers. This is one of their little tins of white flowers. And again, I have a tendency of buying, as you'll notice, a lot of white. Because again, I can spray all of these colors, all of these white flowers with colors. So I could take my memory mist and spray these any color I want to match the project I'm working on. So again, it's a really, really inexpensive way to work on your project and save yourself some money as a designer. So see, this is going to go underneath there because I don't want my husband's head cut off. So I'm going to cut this one petal off. And that will get tucked. And the reason that I cut it off is because if I left it on there, what's going to happen is it's going to lift that photo up and make it uneven, and I wouldn't like that. So that's the reason that I would do that. So if you're putting stuff over, don't worry about it, but if you're putting it under, you might want to, like I said, make sure you cut it. Okay, I definitely want to bring this beautiful lace in. So let me get this piece cut about right there. And again, since I brought that flower in over here, see how I'm going to bring it in over here in this corner most likely? Again, giving me that look so that my eye will go from here up there. I'm a technique-based teacher, meaning I like to teach technique more than I necessarily like to do projects. I like you to leave my classes or my events learning something. So that is definitely something that I hope that you come out of my classes learning a technique. I got some beautiful doilies. These are always fun to have. And since this is a love page, I think I'm going to throw a doily in there. See, I told you I never know what it's going to look like. I change it all the time. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that. I'm still going to put this in there, right there. And this is still going to go right there. Because I like that strip going down the center. Because it's making that strip, the reason I'm thinking about doing that is the viewer's eye is going to go, boom. It's going to go right to that photo. Because I've given them a line to go there. So that's another really good designer trick tip. It's a trick too, I guess. Where did I just put that piece of lace? There it is. Still going to put that lace down there. And then I definitely want to get some metal in there. Okay, so let's take this one off, and let's get these glued down. Now, I'm a gel medium girl. You really can use other products to glue down. Let me show you. Gel medium. I do buy the matte. See the matte there on the end? Make sure you buy matte, because if you buy glossy and the rest of your page is matte, it will definitely show. So please make sure you buy yourself matte and not glossy, unless you want your stuff glossy. So I am going to start by gluing down my photo. Now I'm going to put most of my glue right in the center so that I can tuck stuff underneath it. And I will protect that photo later when I go back and mess with it. So since I'm going to be putting this in there, again, I'm going to put some gel medium on there and kind of, stay. Tuck that in there. And then see, it's allowing me to be able to pick that up while I'm working still. And I got to glue off camera here a little bit, so. But I'm sure all you guys know how to glue. I'm just throwing some gel medium down onto the back of my doily here. Now, with the doily, I only got adhesive basically here. I am going to go over it with the gel medium like that, and that will seal it down completely, because you definitely want it to seal down. You don't want it lifting. And I do this with a lot of things, especially when I do art journals. I would have actually, in my art journal, I would have sealed the washi tape right off the bat. So when I put that washi tape down in the beginning, I would have went back and sealed that. And sealing it meaning I would have put a layer of gel medium over it to seal it. So now that is completely sealed down well. So I'm going to grab my chipboard here. And yes, I know my chipboard is still brown, don't worry. I'm going to work on that. Just dropped my paintbrush for like the 3rd time in a row. Okay, so putting more gel medium on this one. This one I actually don't want tucked under because I do want to kind of cover that corner. So I'm not cutting it. But again, if I didn't want that corner covered, I would cut that out and probably use it somewhere else on my page. Okay, looking good. Now I do have to put the lace down. Where's my adhesive? The lace I usually don't use gel medium. Oh, here it is. I got Elmer's Precious. Okay, see if we can get that to focus. Focus. It focuses on skin, so that's why I put my hand there to get it to focus. Okay, it's not going to focus. But this is Elmer's glue. It's Precious Embellishment glue. And I'm going to glue this piece of lace down. So I'm just going to put it right on the bottom of my photo here. Put my lace over it. Okay, liking that. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions so far. Again, if you do have a question, just put it in caps and we will do our best to answer it. And if you're watching over on YouTube or something and you're unable to ask a question, you can always ask me later on after on Facebook at any time. Okay. No, that's going to go there. And I'm going to glue that down now because it's white also, and I'm going to glue these down because they're white.
Terry, we have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take the gel medium to dry when working with this adhesive?
The gel medium dries actually pretty quick. This is like 90% dry right now, and I put a pretty thick coat on there. You can use your heat gun to speed that up if you need to. I usually, by the time I get back over there, I'm pretty much, it's dry enough for me to go on. But again, if you need to, you could just take your heat gun, because I am about ready to start on my next section, and I probably will need my heat gun to dry that. So hopefully that answered your question. I'm going to lift that up, and I am going to dry this so that I can spray some sprays on there. And I'm going to need something to protect my photo. The one thing you do need to be cautious about when you are working with gel medium and your heat gun, don't let it get too hot because it will bubble. So that's a downfall, I guess. So the way I do that is I keep it moving across the page, and it will, you know, not have any problems with it bubbling. If I know when I feel like this section's getting too hot, I move over here, you know, and I just keep moving it to keep it, get it dry, but yet still not heated up so that it bubbles. Okay, that's completely dry. Now I am covering my photo here with just some leftover stuff because I'm going to spray. Because I want to come in with the memory mists again. I'm going to use the pale ale, and I'm going to get that going on my sheet a little more. Just to bring that into the background. I don't want it to be so in your face as it is right now. Because the white is kind of, it's white. We don't want it, I don't necessarily want this stuff white. Okay, now I'm going to come in with some gesso, and I'm going to gesso these. Oh, actually, I want to lay down a few more things. I want to get my metal down because I'm going to gesso them too. So I'm going to get that right there down, and I think I'm going to put kind of like this key too. I put that there and the flower on top. Oh, I think I like that. So let me glue those two down. And again, another tip as a designer, as you see, I kind of move things around until I get it where I like it, and then I glue it down. So try not to glue things down too quickly, because you might want to move them. Oh, where is that one? This one I want to put in there. I think I'm going to have it kind of sticking out here, so yeah. So see, I'm going to have it sticking out. If I would have put it down like there, and my flower would have covered it. So I'm going to lay it kind of off to the side there, like that, and then come in with my flower. Yeah, like that. So again, and this is again another metal piece I got over at creatingwithdetails.com. Okay, and you glue this guy down. This butterfly is beautiful. Love it. It's really heavy duty metal too. That's going there. Okay, I need to, I think that's all the metal I'm going to put on. Okay, gesso. Got to clean this first. Hold on, cleaning my paintbrush out. My gel medium that was on it. And then I'm going to take some gesso, and I'm going to go over the metal pieces. And also my chipboard pieces. So is everybody ready for Halloween? I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. So I am so looking forward to it. I'm going as Mother Nature this year. If you get a chance, go over to my blog, which is terrysproul.blogspot.com, and check out the beautiful mask I made myself. So yeah, I even made my Halloween costume this year. Really, really happy with it. Okay, I need some paint. Paint, paint, paint. I'm going to grab some pink paint, and this is just cheap old craft paint. If you guys are really interested in a video about mediums and paints, I have a really, really good one on my YouTube channel where all I did was talk about mediums and paints and all the different mediums and what they do and paints and why you would use certain paints over other certain paints. So definitely check that out and see if that helps you on if you're confused about mediums and paints. So I'm putting some paint on there, and I am going to basically kind of dab off part of it with a baby wipe. And I'm not rubbing it off, I'm tapping it off. And that will just leave part of it on there and give you more of a shabby, chic-y type look, instead of being so harsh, especially since this is a really bright pink. And then you can always add more on there if you take too much off. That's the advantage of it. And I'm going to go over my flowers over here. And again, I'm kind of doing what they consider a dry brush technique. Let me zoom in on that. Okay, I'm going to move it, don't worry. Let's see if I move it the right way. I always go backwards on the camera. It's the opposite of what you think it's going to be. Okay, so I don't have a lot of paint on my brush, and I'm really softly just going over it, and that's what they call a dry brush technique. So see how much texture I have in that now, where they were kind of that ugly brown, and now I've got a little more texture because I did that of a dry brush look to it. Now also, did you see while we're here close in how that that came in? And again, I could dry brush that over. Again, very little paint on my paintbrush and very light touch with my brush. And I'm just touching the tops of those pieces that I put through the stencil earlier. And they're going to give me just a little bit of texture. And there they are again right there. And I'm going to just real lightly, tiny, tiny bit of paint on my brush, just touch the tops of those, bringing that texture out. And again, if you think you got too much, like I kind of do right there, that's where they made baby wipes. Also helpful hint, because you'll probably know by the time you're done watching my show, I'm cheap. My husband calls me thrifty. I say I'm cheap. So I buy my baby wipes at the 99-cent store. So if you guys have a 99-cent store out there, go get your baby wipes at the 99-cent store. Okay, I'm liking where this is coming. Just softening this corner out a little bit with the baby wipe. Oops, stay. Okay, I'm liking that. A little bit of pink on that one and a little bit of pink on here. And it's not overdoing it with the pink. The pink is really, really pale. And if you remember, I started off with pink in my washi tape. Pinks and browns is kind of where my theme was going with for my page today. Okay, I want to put, now I can go put some of this fun stuff in here. I'm going to put this on now. And this is a sticker from Want to Scrap. I think they call this, it's one of their blings. Always easier to get off the sheet than it should be. Easier said than done, but it's worth it in the long run. Oh, while I'm doing this, hope nobody minds, but I run design teams, and if you would like to be on a design team, I have a scrapbook design team call up right now for the Robin's Nest. So if you are interested in being on a design team, you can go to chatteringrobins.blogspot.com and see the call. It's one of the little tabs up on the top. Or you can get a hold of me and I can give you the link. Come on, off. There we go. Go down. It's all twisted. It's kind of over further than I wanted it to. So back up. Let's try this again. I'm going to start from this edge because I really don't want it necessarily on my face. Sorry, my hands are in the way. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Oh, likey, likey, likey. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Now I know that this is going to go over here, but I want it under my flower. So I want it coming out like that. I think so. So again, this is a Prima. No, I shouldn't say again. This one is a Prima from Prima, and it's this is actually in their. I got really lucky. This was in their clearance section, believe it or not. I think I paid $1 for this. Look how pretty that is. That flower is going to go there, and I also have these other really pretty flowers that I want to use. These are also from Prima. Aren't those pretty? And they happen to be pink and green, which is kind of where I was going on this page, so I went yay. So I think that one's going to go right there. Maybe a little more like that. I don't think I'm going to put the green one on there. Or should I put the green one on there, not the pink one? What do you think? Going for a vote. Green, pink. Green, pink. Give me a vote. While you guys are voting, I am going to grab some more embellishments over here. So anybody got an opinion on green or pink? I have these really pretty cameos in multiple different colors down here, and they're again from Creating with Details. So I'm going to use them on a few of my pieces here. What, no vote at all, guys? You guys aren't going to vote on my green or pink? You're going to make me decide? Really? I don't see any comments over there. Yes on the green? Okay, so finally getting a vote. Yay! I kind of like the green too. So, and I don't want it to be too much onto my photo here, so I think I'm going to lay it kind of off to the side there and allow my gear to still show its face. And we're getting pretty close to being done on this one. I do want to do something with that flower, so I think I'm going to do some dry brushing on it. So I'm going to grab my paintbrush again, because it's just a little too white for me. And when I'm using very little paint, again, because I'm cheap, I actually use the cap. So I got just a little bit of paint in there. And because I really want to do a dry brush, I'm going to take it to this scratch piece of paper and get off most of the paint and just do some real light touch on this flower. So see how the dry brush really works if you just get a tiny bit of paint on there. So if you hear a designer saying a dry brush technique, this is how you do it. See the difference? Yeah, a little too blurry. There it is. Okay. I'm just throwing some of the paint also onto those pearls. And again, there's very little paint on my brush at this point. So I'm really getting a real... Oh, I like the way that looks, though. Glad I did that. See, not planned, but liked. Okay. So I'm going to glue down my cameo up here on this one flower. I think I'm going to throw some dewdrops in here. Dewdrops are from the Robin's Nest. That's that design team call that I told you is up. Dewdrops are these tiny little clear, flat back, yummy thingies I just love. And they have them in a ton of colors. So I'm going to use them. I'm going to put one here and one there. Again, just to give it some green. Thank you. Everybody's agreeing on the green now. More contrast with the green. So I'm glad you guys all agreed on the green. Okay. So again, with the dewdrops, I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive down. I'm using the Elmer's glue again. Okay, I'm going to glue this down. It's going to take a few seconds to stick it down because it's really heavy. I might have to use a heavier adhesive on that. In fact, I might as well just do that because I'm almost positive I'm going to have to. So I happen to have Quick Grab on my desk from, I think this is from Beacon. It's got paint on it. I can't see who it's from anymore. I think this is Beacon. I'm almost positive it is. And I'm saying almost positive so that I can keep myself in case I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure I'm right. And I'm also going to glue this big guy down with it too. Because it's got a big knob on the end, so it's going to be a little harder to glue down. Again, putting it kind of off to the side here so that it doesn't interfere with my photo too much. Hold that down for a second. And I think I'm pretty close to being done at this point. I really like my page. So if you have any questions, or at this point, if Debbie, if you would like to, or Deb, if you'd like to come in and comment or say anything, you're welcome to come in at this point.
Terry, first I want to thank you for doing this exclusive class for us. It's a great privilege to have you as a teacher.
Thank you.
And for anyone who is interested in joining the Sheet Crafty group, please just PM me on Facebook and I will add you. It's a wonderful group. We have periodic classes like this, and there is so much creativity in every medium available there, and we have lots and lots of people who share. So we would love to have you join us and show us what you can do too. And if you're an educator, we'd love to have you teach a class.
And I have found another one of those little cameos, so I'm going to add one more of those cameos on there. Right at that center point where those two are kind of, see that right there? I'm going to put the cameo right there. And it kind of just gives that really nice touch. And also, please join me on Tuesday nights, guys. Every Tuesday night, except for next Tuesday, I do a live class on the same format. This is Google+. So join my group called All Things Terry Sproul, and I will do my best to get you an invite to join my class. I am really happy with that canvas. That turned out beautiful. Let me zoom in for you, show you around. Okay, so there's that top corner, and then we're going to try to go to the right side. Nope, see, I always go the wrong way, always. You'd think I'd learn. I've been doing these live shows for, I don't know, 4 years now, and I still can't get my camera right. There's my gear and that really pretty Prima flower. There's that beautiful metal butterfly. So we're going to go down now. Photo. There's a little bit of a glare there, but you can see how I got the pink on that flower, which really brought it out. Again, down there on the bottom. Okay, let's see if I can go the right way. Yay, I did it. So there's that beautiful Prima leaf there. And see the metal peeking out still? And I did just put a touch of that pink also on that background. And then this corner, I actually left plain. And let me zoom out and talk to you about that. As you notice, I have a lot of going on like here. You need to have sometimes a place for the viewer's eye to rest. That's why there's not a lot going on down here in this corner. Because this page has got a lot going on it, it kind of gives your eye a little bit of a space to rest. So if you see a lot of the designers right now are doing what they call white space, where this would be completely white or the whole background's white, it's because it really gives your eye a nice place to rest. So I hope you like that page. I'm going to switch cameras and say goodbye. And we did that page in exactly 1 hour. So you guys can do this in an hour. So sit down today and do a wonderful layout or canvas.
Terry, if it's okay, I'd like to interrupt for just a second again.
Of course.
I have a store. It's called Gone Artsy on goneartsy.zibit.com, and I sell the laces similar to what she used on her project today. We also have a design team that does shows, and currently we're on Ustream, but we are looking at maybe moving back to Google. But in the meantime, if you'd like to join us, we're basically Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, this week we just have a class on Monday because of the Halloween. And so if you'd like to join us, we'll be on Ustream Monday night. And the Ustream name is Gone Artsy Live Classes.
Well, great. I know I'd love to join you. And on Tuesday nights, mine are over here on Google Plus on the Terry Sproul channel. And I think everything's glued down, so I'm going to try to pick this up. I think that my butterfly is not glued down yet. So there's my beautiful canvas done in 1 hour. And join me on Tuesday. Check out her website. Join the groups. And thank you again very much. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you. I really appreciate everybody coming. And if you have questions, just let us know. I will gladly answer them for you. And check out my YouTube channel and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. There's some really good, again, all my classes are technique based, so I'm going to teach you a technique. I try to teach different techniques every single week. So if you have any questions, let me know. And thank you again for everybody joining me. I really appreciate it. Thanks again. Goodbye.